What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. As you can hear, my voice is a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not great, but important things are afoot in the crypto market and that we need to talk about. We absolutely need to get involved in, and we need to try and understand what the hell is going on, because boy, is it a painful day out there in the cryptocurrency land. And like I said, we're gonna have to walk through and talk through and get into all the latest news, reviews, and try and break down some of the charts, try and understand what's going on. Is the bull market over? Well, let's talk about it. Let's try and get into what's going on. Let's understand, kind of a little bit as to good news, bad news, indifferent news, whatever, right? We need to talk about it. So we're going to get in. We're all in. We all in, or we short in this? I mean, I did think about opening a short from 101 earlier on, and it probably would have printed pretty well, but I mean, it's super high risk at the minute. It's super volatile at the minute. Again, we're going to sort of break down maybe what this is. Is this the end of the bull market? The honest answer is no one's going to be able to tell you. Even the people that were calling the fact that we were going to go down will be like, oh, that's it. Bull market's here. Bull market's over. No one really knows. I think what's important to try and understand always in these situations is why. Why is the market dumping today? Why is everything selling off? You're not going to tell me that just today, just as an example, everyone holding Ethereum suddenly went, oh, that's it, I'm done. 12% decline Ethereum. Everyone's like, screw it, that's it, sell. Like, come on. It's not how bull markets finish. It's not generally how investing works. People don't just randomly wake up on on the 4th of November and go, fuck it, I'm selling all my bags today. Like, I'm selling it. There is things going on. And there is certain things that we need to talk about, walk through, and try and get our heads around a little bit, because is this going to tell us it's going to get worse or not, right? That's the debate. Are we going to know whether it is going to, come back? That's the big question. But anyway, with that being said, smash up the like button if you're brand new here to the channel. Also, consider subscribing. Also, if you're here on TikTok, share us out, tap the screen, do all that good stuff. Massively appreciate it. Remember, don't show content from other people. Don't show White House content, because TikTok bans you for 10 minutes. Don't do that, all right? Also, be careful of what XRP content you put out, because YouTube decides to ban you. All of that is worthwhile efforts. Anyway, with that being said, smash the like button. Let's get into it. So, bad news, everybody. Well, first and foremost, I've forgotten to sort the window out, which is never a great start to the stream. But anyway, told my grandpa to buy Bitcoin at 124k. It's the best meme I've seen all day. It's literally the best meme I've seen all day. How true is that? I had someone ring me today and they were like, bro, what's going on with Bitcoin in the crypto market? You told me it was going to be fine. I was like, no, I didn't. I told you that it was a risky business. You just bought in and it went up significantly, and now you think it's all just a scam. Anyway. Bitcoin price here on the weekly, I thought was worth noting. A couple of things. We are absolutely at an important point here. Now, we've got a few days left, so, everyone just doesn't need to shit the bed just yet. But what we can see here, the big green line, we talked about this yesterday. Ultimately, this big green line is the 50-week moving average, or the 50-week EMA. So, holding around 100,000. Generally speaking, if we close below 100,000 by the end of the week, might be bad news. If we can hold above 100,000, we may be okay. But like I said right at the very start of the stream, no one's going to tell me that randomly everyone woke up on the 4th of November and suddenly decided that they were going to completely crash Ethereum below the 20-week EMA. Not only that, they also decided they were going to smash Aerodrome to pieces, jazz me down, link down, like Altcoin market's going to tell me it's gone below $1 billion, and this is how we end the bull market. Again, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm not worried at all, like, whatever, because I am. And I told you guys yesterday that we need to tread cautiously. There are things we need to watch out for. And more importantly, you and I wouldn't or shouldn't be going into the market just yet. That's my opinion, right? Again, you can do what you want, to be honest. It's your money. But my view is that, my view is a little bit, I have some USDT ready to buy into the market, but I'm going to sit on my hands, wait and see what happens, and then decide whether I want to get into the market. You got opportunities out there. ETH at $3,191 is a pretty interesting space. Also, you got XRP now 215, BNB back above 1,000. So you could argue there's a significant discount on a number of coins out there. Look at AVAX is down at $15. So given kind of this market move down, we need to kind of decide what the play is. What is our options? What should we be doing? And I guess maybe how do we just work our way through the market? You either are in a world where you absolutely 100% are unequivocally sure the bear market's here, then you should have already sold, you should already be in stablecoin, and congratulations to you, you timed it pretty well. If you don't and you believe that there is more to come in the market, this may be just another wick down. Bear in mind, if you look at the charts here, you can't buy US stocks. I mean, I can if I want to. If you're in the UK, you have to fill some sort of tax stuff in. But anyway, what we can say here on the weekly is every time we've retested this line, this, by the way, not wicked underneath, closed above. This is the important bit. We can wick underneath all we want. The close above on the weekly candles is going to be what we look at every time, without exception. Okay, without exception. Besides the bear market of 2022 is acted as support right the way back to here, even back here in 2021 post FTX collapse. Sorry, 2022 post FTX collapse. This has been a key support for us. So every time we bounce, rallied all the way up, bounced, rallied all the way up. So this is going to be a very critical point. Now, if we close, this will be Sunday night, we'll talk about it, below this 50-week moving average, then I personally will be probably exiting 75% of my positions. Maybe a little bit less, but we'll see. Because actually, for me, the last time we did that we closed, well, I mean, with the exception maybe of the double top scenario that came in here, generally speaking, the last time we closed below this range was at the beginning of the bear market. So definitely going to be worthwhile watching. MACD RSI is definitely trending to the downside as well. So this is going to be a key thing to think about. Now, as always, if you want to try and flip a little bit of optimism within the market, we're testing some of the lower ranges that we see in this bull market cycle. Okay, so again, if you sort of understand where some of the macro sentiment sits, you know, that's a very, very key line for us. Here it was resistance, support. Equally, we're coming down to retest this lower range. It is absolutely at the lower end of life. So it is worth noting as to, oops, I didn't mean to do that. It is worth noting as to where we currently sit. But the reality then is you say, well, okay, well, let's do the bottom to the top. We literally fall on near enough the 0.5 Fibonacci. In fact, if I actually put that on the correct thing, where, hold on, let me just get it right. Here we go. We're very near the 0.5 Fibonacci. And equally, you can see how some of these levels have supported this move over the course of this period. Look at this. The support line coming in at the 678. The support line once again coming in back here. So, you know, if we are going to break down, then expect further push downs. This could probably be your next price target. Remember, it can't go down forever. As much as some people might believe, or might have you believe that it can go down forever, it can't, all right? And won't. Because at some point people go, I think it's pretty much a discount right now. So we do need to absolutely watch some of these key levels that are happening right now on BTC. And again, some of these key support levels, both on a weekly agenda and equally on the daily as well. So these are definitely going to be a key thing. Just, by the way, for reference, I am in no way, shape or form being like, it's all fine. Like, if you're just joining the stream, I'm not in any way saying that it's all fine, because right now it doesn't feel that great. All's holding up well considering running out of sellers now. I mean, I don't know if that's a reverse 2-bit, if I'm honest. I sold 50% of my positions. Yeah, not a bad shout. Like I said, I'm sat with some stable coins for sure. What do you think about Vita? No idea. That can't be it, surely. MB23, that's my view, a little bit. But remember, you just got to be sensible. So as much as we might believe there's more to come in the markets, let's just try and see what the charts are telling us. Let's see what the sentiment is telling us. But again, my belief is that generally bull markets don't end by people waking up and saying, right, I'm going to liquidate billions of dollars of cryptocurrency today. The difference between now and what we've seen previously is the institutional money that's sat here. But remember, again, loads of people are like BlackRock selling Bitcoin. They're absolutely dumping the market. It's not BlackRock that are selling. It's their customers that are selling. But think of this. $1.69 billion is liquidated from the crypto market today. That is a fairly big chunk of money. And it looks a little bit like that, which TikTok, you can see the pain of red on my face right now. What could be the bottom for Solana bear market? Hard to tell, really. We'll take a look in a minute. Diane, we started already. I'm here. What did I miss? Is it Binance again? It's just everything. Have some tea, bro. You could use some rest. Yeah, I did. I just drank my tea. So it's fine. It's only my voice. I feel fine in myself, by the way. It's just my voice is not holding up very well. But yeah, $250 billion wiped out from the crypto market today. Again, does that feel like a bear market sentiment? I don't know. It doesn't feel like it. Well, let's take a look. Let's understand it. Let's work through the macro data. What did we get in terms of 2021 cycle? Let's go from a weekly perspective and sort of see. 750 billion wiped out from the stock market today. Now, again, we'll talk about some of the reasons why I believe this is happening. But let's say the first peak came in. We came in at a $2.41 trillion market cap. Within a week, that had gone down to 2.11. So we lost $280 billion in a week, not day, in a freaking week. We also then, on that dip, what did we see that point? So we went from 2.14 to 1.38. What's that? 70, what was it? Like 72 billion? So $720 billion. So even the 2021 first peak 2-week crash is less than was liquidated from the market today. All right. So again, for me, was that like, did the entire sentiment shift? It doesn't feel like it. Yeah, we got a push down. Again, look at this bullish sentiment that was sitting in the market right now. And then we rallied up again and we sort of had a slow, painful move off the top of that second wick. So you could argue maybe this is kind of where we're playing out. Even when you look at it, it still just feels a bit weird here. But again, this key level that we need to hold, this 50-week moving average, is absolutely critical that we hold this. Fear and Greed Index at 20 is a must buy in a DCA strat. I mean, that's true. That's true. If I was a coward, have said that like your voice now. Very Bruce Wayne. I'm down 2K, help. Oh, bro, come on, it's fine. How worried are you on a scale of 1 to 10? 7. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you for why, right? I'll tell you for why. So sit down and listen in. I don't think they're Irish. Okay. So remember yesterday we were talking about some of the key things we need to look at. That wasn't Grandpa, but we were talking about a couple of key macro data that I was looking at, right? And that was on my mind, something I've been researching, something I've been looking into. Again, if you haven't seen my Bitcoin update video from earlier, you should go and watch it. Likewise, basically I put content out every day, and it's less like headline news stories, more here's some data that we need to look at. What's important? What is it telling us? What could be the next strategy we need to look at? So what you've got here is, I probably flicked ahead a little bit too much, a little bit quick actually. Let me just do that. Fear and Greed Index 23. So overall market sentiment is shit, right? Let's call it as is. Overall market sentiment, people are like, holy crap, we're going to zero. So people are dumping bags, short-term holders, selling at a loss. They don't care. They just want out, right? They're convinced the market's over. The bear is coming. Get the fuck out of the markets. That's what they're saying, right? Not me at the minute. Just saying, I need my money out by Christmas. It's on 10, then I'll wait down. I'm not saying that, but Fear and Greed Index, generally speaking, is dumping. That's significantly down from where we have been. Now, the other thing to think about is this. And I think this is a way bigger deal than people are thinking about, right? In my opinion. You should go down on the video shilling your affiliate link. Do you mean the channel memberships or the 4 videos I've done for BITUNIX? Why is it even pumping for ICP? I have no idea why ICP is pumping. No idea. I mean, we'll try and find out for you in this live stream, but this is a bigger deal than I think a lot of people believe, right? Okay. Fair play. Reverse. I will take your feedback on board. Maybe do it in one video every 2 days or something like that. How's that sound? What do you think about Vita? I don't know anything about it. But this is a bigger deal. So the US government shutdown, again, another vote today was rejected. So today it was like, nope, we're not going to go through again. Exactly the same as we've seen now for 14 times. Polymarket is predicting it won't end until November 29th, making a 60-day shutdown. This is actually bigger than I now think a lot of people believe. And this is, in my opinion, being part of the reason the markets are nervous and dumping their positions. You double down with this that came out today. Nearly 50% of all major air traffic control facilities face staffing shortages. According to Federal Aviation Administration, air traffic controllers are required to work without pay for the duration of the shutdown. About 13,000 air traffic controllers are currently working without pay, according to the FAA. On Friday, the agency said that 80% of New York staff had called out. So this kind of gets into a little bit of a debate right now, which is kind of like, okay, the US government shutting down is not particularly good. Why is then air travel one of the things that is worth looking at? Well, air travel is about tourism. It's about the economy. It's about moving people for work, whatever, right? This is just one indication as to why this is going to be a problem. 13,000 people. And bear in mind, the average salary, just average salary. This will get to a point in a minute, by the way, of ATC oh my God, why can't I spell? So the average salary of the ATC individual, by the way, in the US is around $136,790. Let's call it $136,000 for ease. So if you think about what that looks like, it's about $1.76 billion over the course of a year. Okay, so divide that by, let's say 12, $147 million just from freaking air traffic controllers, right? Just from air traffic controllers, not going into the liquidity pot, not going into the kind of big melting pot that the US government needs, or forget the US government, the banks need, all right? Prices don't dump like this in bear markets. This is fear manipulation, government shutdown. Reverse 2-bit. Why am I going bearish and you're going bullish, bro? What the hell? Anyway, this just gives you an idea of the scale of it. Now, why am I talking about this, right? Why am I sort of talking about government shutdowns? Because this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we need to see. So much so, TikTok, you need to see it well. Now, if you don't know what this is, we've been talking about this now for a while. This is the overnight reverse purchase agreements, basically the Federal Reserve's money pot. The banks come in and they take more out. If you remember, we talked about this yesterday. We said, one of the things I said was, watch out, because if we get more from the Fed repo, we need to be mindful. That means there is a lack of liquidity in banks. This is not good. If you think of Bitcoin and the crypto markets, it isn't some magic internet money. It's fundamentally driven by liquidity. People buy, people sell. Like the crypto market is driven by liquidity. The Federal Reserve can just print more money, right? As much as it devalues the dollar, blah, 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 blah. They can just print some more money. They could go, right, holy shit, we've got a problem. Labor market's fucked. Okay, go and print $1 trillion. Boom, it's in treasury bonds and yields, all the rest of it. So this is an important thing. Now, the small silver lining that comes with this is it was less than we'd seen the day before. Okay, it's a short-term index that is worth noting. Now, the other thing to think about when it comes to this is something called the SOPRRPP, right? I don't have a chart for it, but again, deep in research, trying to do with it, which is basically the rate in which banks pay back the Federal Reserve. And those rates are fucking skyrocketing. They're generally around 0.1, which I think is 0.1% of what they lend. They're at 0.47. So it's 4 times. Excuse me. It's 4 times more expensive right now to use the Federal Reserve repo than it is to just not, right? And that it has been back in 2021, 2021, whatever it is, right? Whenever people are using it. Now, what's interesting is you can kind of see how this plays out over the course of at least the last few years. Let's say the last 10 years, an example. And what you can actually see is repo debt increased going into predominantly big bear markets, 2022, 2023, comes out the back of it, 2024. At the same time, we see spiking interest rates. Now, this is where the slight difference applies. You've got lowering interest rates, but that's to support the jobs market, not the money in people's pockets, right? Let's just call it as it is. But this is definitely something that we're going to talk about every day on the channel. We're going to keep an eye on what this looks like, and therefore, more importantly, we can see exactly what's happening, because this is going to be, in my opinion, the one big catalyst that supports and drives us through where we are. If this continues to decline, good news, liquidity is returning to the banks. Banks have more money. By the way, and I talked about this in my video, if you don't understand why this is important, go and have a look at what fractionalized banking is. The whole banking system, by the way, is a complete scam, just FYI. The fractionalized banking basically means that if everyone was to go and draw all of their money out of the banks, it wouldn't work. They take your money, convert your money into 10 times your money, and then give it away to other people to make more money, right? It's all a big scam. But this is why liquidity then becomes an important point, because if they don't have the liquidity, then they're kind of screwed, all right? They are kind of screwed. So if I show you, I'm just trying to think if I can just be really quickly and just, it's a little bit like a lesson. So this is kind of how it works, right? TikTok, do you want to see this as well? This is kind of how fractionalized banking works, which is why you get to why the repo debt is so important, why the cost of the repo debt is important as well. So let's say, for example, Cheese goes and deposits his $1,000 into the bank. They serve $100 and they loan out 900 to this individual, who then goes and spends the money, right? So at this point, they make, like, just out of fucking thin air, $900, right? From nowhere, because you still have $1,000 in your bank. This person now has $900, which technically is yours, which means that this person and you have a combined total of $1,900. It's fucking bonkers, right? But you then rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. The reality is, by the time you've done this just 3 times, your original $1,000 has suddenly become $3,439 in the system, but the bank only has $271. What the hell? Fractionalized banking, it's a friggin' scam. Anyway, this is where the Fed repo debt becomes really, really important, because we haven't had a push on the banks, but if we get a push on the banks, like, we're fucked to a degree, right? To a degree. There is going to be a real challenge, and you'll see banks defaulting. Now, it's difficult to get actual balance reserves to understand where some of the banks are, but again, this is just something we need to be aware of. If we can see this continue to decline, by the way, repo debt is something the banks generally use, but look at some of the numbers that normally comes in. You got about 5.9 billion, about 4.6 billion, 4 billion, 6.9 billion versus $16.96 billion today. Yesterday, $23.76 billion. Think about this. Friday, $51 freaking billion was used to bail out the banks Monday morning. Again, this is why it's going to be important. So if these levels come down, we'll talk about it tomorrow and we'll see kind of where we sit. Then this will kind of, give us a view. Worth noting, by the way, as well, that, minus 20% less than 1 month. If you panic every time you see a dip, you'll never win. It's always a positive, isn't it? It's always a positive. But yeah, October 16th, Bitcoin crosses above the 126. And then we are now where we are, which is around 101, which again, kind of doesn't really make much sense. But we've seen it before and we'll definitely see it again. Now, here's some interesting stuff that's going on that I thought was worth just touching on, is that the reality is that people are still accumulating Bitcoin and they're still accumulating cryptocurrency. So as much as we're seeing markets absolutely tank its asshole out, there are still people buying, whether that's institutions, whether that's whales, whatever you want to call it, right? But the reality is that we are actually seeing quite a significant amount of buying pressure, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean in just a minute. It feels like I fell off the ladder. I mean, I know what you're saying. Think about this. Everyone's panicking. Everyone's shitting themselves. Market's going to freaking zero. Okay, well, tell me why 3,000 Bitcoin left exchanges today. Why did it leave exchanges today? That's a question. Is CGT coming from the 1st of Jan? Capital gains tax. Capital gains tax always there. It's not the 1st of Jan. You got capital gains tax. Go and check the video out that I put on the channel. It is basically it's because capital gains tax is still there. It will be the exact amount of gains will be automatically sent to HMRC from cryptocurrency exchanges. That's what's coming down. I believe that the market needs to cash for us to go back up the way it is. I mean, maybe, yeah. You guys love from Sweden here, from some fucking opium. Let's get it, Logitech. I'm down for it. Axe 221. What's going on, buddy? It's over. No. Max Fear in the house. Chip Enzo. What's going on, buddy? Welcome in. Danny says, I don't think the bull market has even started properly. I think it's delayed cycling, so manipulated by the big boys. I think it's going to fly up to 160 within a month. And all season, let's go. Mike, love how you do all this homework for us. No one would think about half of these charts. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Craig. Stagger said people are always buying and selling, just more selling right now. That's very true. That is very true. So again, BTC leaving exchanges 2.136 million, still significantly lower than where we've been for a while. But this isn't what I want to specifically talk about. Let's talk about what's going on at an institutional level. Again, what did we see today? We saw another massive outflow from BlackRock, as well as a couple of others now, VanEck and a few others still dumping. But within this, you've got Fidelity buying a little bit. You've got ARC21 buying a little bit. Again, markets are capitulating. Why? Because people are selling. And remember what we talked about when it comes to this. This is a delayed view. So this is kind of what they believe the demand tomorrow is going to be, that people are going to look at the market and go, oh, shit, I need to get out of this. And again, we generally see about, a week, maybe 10 days of selling, and then we start to potentially see this macro uptrend as well. So again, worth noting, the last time we saw this big dip was back here in kind of early September, followed by the then push back to the upside. There are obviously some key things we need to look at, certainly for the end of the week, so keep your eyes peeled on that. But this chart kind of gives us a real example. Bitcoin supply and exchange is the lowest it's been at this cycle. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting if you ask me. So with all that being said, with the whole repo debt, the repo debt rate, which I think is important to think about, can we be bullish? Or can we at least find something that is going to say, well, you might still have the market opportunity that we all want. There might still be upside to come. There might be things that are going to play out that positively will affect the crypto market. What are they going to be? Well, there is a couple of things, obviously, and we're going to talk about those in just a second. If you haven't already, though, by the way, smash up the like button to brand new all-time high. Massively appreciate it. Again, if you haven't tapped the screen on TikTok, I would also appreciate that. Remember, supports the algorithm, gets us out there, lets people know that we're live, brings new people in that maybe right now are sat there thinking, holy, what do I do? I am crapping myself. This is the channel for them. Come in, hang around with the community. Don't forget to join the Discord. Link on the bio. It's free. Link in the description if you're on YouTube as well. Get into the Discord. Highly recommend it. It is worth your time. So, yeah, the 50-week moving average is here. Look, this big green line is the important line of doom. We need to hold that line on the day. On the weekly candle. So, we've still got a bit to go yet, but this is the weekly that we need to hold it. So, wicks are fine. Candle bodies not so much. Okay. This is the first catalyst. Now, as much as people are still freaking out, the reality is that the Fed rate, potential rate cut for December has now moved up again. That's 3% in just 24 hours. It's 8% since Monday. So actually, we're only on Tuesday. The markets are, or certainly the Fed view, is that, 70% says we will get a rate cut in December. This is the first catalyst. Now, there is another one that's a little bit nearer to home, and that is this. Donald Trump, the Supreme Court is voting on Trump's tariff tomorrow. So are they legal or not? Trump obviously believes that they are and has imposed significant numbers of tariffs. Does it mean that if the I think it's the Supreme Court, suddenly decide that the tariffs aren't legal, does Bitcoin pump back up? I don't think so. I actually think it might be bad news. I think if they vote that they are, then they may be more beneficial because we know that the Fed rate can bring interest rates down. What it would do, though, is allow the further injection of capital back into the market. So we're waiting for that surplus on tariffs and potentially what that looks like. Now, we're not going to get that while the government's shut down. So that could be an important one to think about. But this is going to come. Apparently, he's talking at 5:30 tonight as well. In fact, I need to make sure I've got that up because I can't obviously play it for you guys on TikTok. I think I can play the sound. I think I'll play the sound, but let me just bring this up so I've got it just in case anything comes up and we need to see it. But again, this could be a thing, and certainly could be interesting when this sort of plays through. Let me just see if the White House is officially got anything coming. I thought Trump was doing some announcement later on. It doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. We'll keep an eye on it anyway. So again, no way if tariffs are proven legal, Bitcoin would dump. Yeah, I think so. Well, yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, it could go either way. I mean, it doesn't really matter what happens. Rate cuts, rate dumps, whatever it is. But certainly will be a one to watch. Trump should go away for 2 months and never all blow off top and then come back and see over the better. I mean, that's true as well. That's true. ETH is tanking hard than other alts. I mean, the whole market. I mean, we're back under 100k right now, so the whole market is you know, 12% on ETH. Again, my point here is that a bear market signal? Does all of a sudden everyone's just like, oh, sell my entire fucking Ethereum bag? Anyway, we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that. Certainly is going to be worthwhile keeping close on, I think. Okay. What else have we got going on that could be pretty interesting? Well, the strategic asset reallocation. What the hell is this? Well, this is basically a firm that adopted Bitcoin as its primary treasury reserve asset, confirmed the sale of 970 BTC to reduce debt and strengthen its balance sheet. So people are, even at this level, nervous about where the market's going to go. This is very much the difference in terms of retail versus institutions. Why? Because they have to sell. They are capitulating. This is the risk you get. We talked about this with MicroStrategy ages ago, that whenever you continue to print shares, you devalue shares. Therefore, if the sorry everyone, if the price of Bitcoin falls through the floor, then that might be a bad news story. However, the move follows similar actions from other digital asset treasury firms, including Ethereum-focused Etherzilla, which recently liquidated a portion of its holdings. Okay, de-risking, I think personally. So worthwhile noting about that. However, venture capitalists pour $5.1 billion into the crypto firms while the Bitcoin October whiffs. So again, this is kind of the point I'm making. While ever we are still freaking out, panicking, shitting ourselves, all the rest of it, while people are nervous, the reality is that there is still significant amounts of capital flowing in where possible. Doesn't mean that it's all fine. Doesn't mean that we're going to the moon. Doesn't mean that, it's just all a bit of a like, oh, don't worry about it. But what it does tell us here is that there is a significant amount of money still going into the cryptocurrency market. Venture capitalist firms love it, by the way. And actually, the second highest month since 2022. Important to think about, surpassing all of the 2025 months except March. So, ask yourself that. Yeah, you've got a rotation of capital. Yeah, you've got some treasury companies selling. Not everyone. Some treasury companies are selling off. Well, is this because they are, hedging against a potential risk? Don't forget, whatever that government shutdown is, it's causing a problem. While at the same time, we still see some buying. For example, we know Tom Lee is still incredibly bullish on what's going on. Likewise, Bitmain sort of buying more Ethereum. And by the way, it's still over $19.5 billion sat in those treasury firms. Important to think about as that works through. So yeah. Just look at the M2. It's dropped until the 7th. Oh, is it really? Oh, shit. M2. It's called M2. Is it M2 money supply? I want it globally though. How do I do global? We need to do global M2. Can I not do it? I thought there was a global one. M2. Is it not? How annoying is that? It's not like a. Okay, fine. Fine. That's not what I want. Okay, I will trust you. I'll trust you. What's good on Lauren? Good to see BTC under 95k. We're cooked, right? I mean, it depends. A close on the weekly candles below the green line, the 50-week moving average, is bad news. It's bad news. Bitcoin is a wonderful store of value, apparently. Yeah. Logitech, in my opinion, they push price to liquidate longs and target liquidation up, and the bear market to fudge the longs once more. Currently long squeeze, and we end up at 50 EMA in the next week. Maybe. DG says, hope you stable up. Ooh, Daniel's bearish. I mean, I have got some stable coins. I'm just not diving into anything at the minute. What's going on, buddy, though? Good to see you. Where's your video on capital gains tax? It's not on capital gains tax, but it is on the tax stuff coming. Go to YouTube. Go to, I think it's called like info playlist or something like that. And then check it out there. As always, everybody, you can always catch all my latest content live. So go over here, go to the home screen, and here it is. Avoid this video here. This is avoid paying taxes. So it talks a little bit about the tax situation that's coming, etc., etc., etc. So definitely go and check that video out. I reckon it's highly worth it in my opinion. And also while you're there, subscribe as well. It'll be great. Thank you so much. Too bad. I'm assuming Bitcoin's weekly close will be the most important one for this cycle. Yes. Close below the green line, get out. Close above it, we're probably okay. And that's only based on history, by the way. That's only based on history. Again, if you look at it on a weekly candle time frame, every time we have hit these lines and we've bounced on a close, we've never closed below the green line, never in this bull market cycle. So if we close below it, that would be the first time ever. The last time we saw a close below the green line was absolutely the start of the bear market from 2022. So again, worth noting. Wicks down, fine. You know, so if we dump today, I mean, it's a big old dump is that on BTC today. And then we pump back up tomorrow to say, you know, 102, then fine. Bitcoin MXC at the moment is literally flatlining on 100k. There you go. There you go. No dramas, MB23. I got the market like 2 weeks ago or whatever at all-time high. Fart Sonic crushed it. Nailed it, bro. Nailed it. Good. Good. Yeah, that's what I was going to show. Liquidation heat map. I got 3 XRPs, 2 dogs, 1 half of Viagra, and I'm ready to buy, ladies. Get it. Right, let's go to the weekly liquidation map. And again, we are definitely starting to see liquidity built to the upside. What is, again, worth noting here is that this build of liquidity isn't as crazy as we have seen previously. We've definitely seen way more aggressive upside potential. Therefore, at the minute, there is no desire, I think, to kind of, you know, push the markets way high. Market makers are just going to sit there and be like, well, we'll sort of see what happens. But we aren't particularly seeing massive liquidity. So again, important to think about. Markets right now are just a little bit uncomfortable. Take a look at open interest as an example. People are like, yeah, not feeling it. Not feeling it right now. If you look at open interest and volume, by the way, it's down. All right. So open interest is the blue line here on this chart. You see that we have actually wicked down. This is open interest is basically people wanting to take positions up on particular assets, particular coins. Again, you can see here on BTC, price declining, open interest flat. Remember, if you've got an expanding market, people are going to be way more bullish. If you've not, then you know you are where we are. People asking about Ethereum, by the way, we're seeing exactly the same, if not worse, with Ethereum. People are really uncomfortable about where ETH is right now. Really uncomfortable. If you look at where we've pushed down over the course of the last 2 weeks. So open interest, definitely declining. These are where people are trading the opportunity. So, you know, that's kind of definitely something we need to be mindful of. That just gives you an idea of real time. Yeah, that gives you a real time kind of idea of where open interest sits right now. So still a little bit of demand out there, but not anywhere near as strong as we want it. And certainly is a, you know, is a cause for some concern. Can we look at Solana? Yeah, of course we can. So Solana did exactly the same. You can see here on the weekly candle, it's a big old dump driven hugely out of today. I mean, look at that as a weekly candle that's come down. Solana may go a little bit lower. 146.71 probably is a potential, you know, potential kind of low bottom here that it could come down to, particularly when you sort of look at that previous move. Likewise, if we said, well, let's take a look at the Fibonacci on this kind of move. Where do we get to? Let's take it to the bottom here. We could see probably 133 post that. So again, sort of giving you an idea of where this potentially could go to from some of these key levels. So, you know, think about kind of where that's going to go to. Again, it's going to align a lot to where the market is. Seeing a big deal. Now, what will be interesting, actually, let's take a quick look at... we need to have a look at that. We also need to have a look at this. Not that I know much buying the low with XRP. I am. Fair play. Fair play. So this is the total treasury tracker of down about 7%. So these are, you have to be mindful of this, by the way, because this is also directly related to price. So although, yes, you've got people selling, you also have a decline in terms of price. So again, you can see here, look, so the price is down about 6.31%. So we can decipher that about 0.6% of this decline is probably due to treasuries selling off. So we know that, for example, iShares have been selling off 799. Let's keep close to that one. We'll see what that number changes like over the course of the last, certainly the next 24 hours. But, you know, again, you can see here that there is definitely selling off when it comes to the crypto treasury market, which is honest. BTC falling like an effing rock. Yeah, my portfolio deep red. I know the feeling. Bye, everything was on fire sale. Glad we all outraged share that I would miss out on y'all if I was selling them. I mean, that's true as well. That's exactly what I think as well. That's exactly what I think, unfortunately. What's going on, Fairground? Good to see 98k BTC on 93. Well, in my Bitcoin video that I did earlier, I said 93 is a potential. You know, whether we get there is a different matter. But yeah, I mean, you can see, look at this, 99,000. So this will be like liquidations coming in right now. Look at this push down in the market again. Motherfuckers. Get out of here. 99.3. So yeah, let's do 100K. Well, in fact, let's go to 1 million. So yeah, you just had $1 million liquidation come in. I mean, these are all shorts, interestingly enough. But look at this Asta. So yeah, you got some pretty big liquidations coming in right now. Which again, could be market makers trying to dump the market. Like I said, it's definitely, you just have to be sensible right now. That's my opinion. Be sensible. So 99.5, we are sort of, wicking back up a little bit. Let's go on the 5-minute chart so we can sort of see what's going on. But and look, I'm not changing the sentiment. I'm not kind of coming in with like a weird, like, oh, to it just doesn't feel right. I don't know what it is, right? I can't put my finger on it. I literally messaged Vern earlier and we were chatting and I was like, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know why. Maybe that's me bad time in the market. Maybe, right? Maybe that's me going to end up getting absolutely fucking wrecked. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel normal. And I don't know why. Tell it, like I said, 13.5% on Ethereum. Everyone's just selling their entire bags today. Everyone's like, fucking hell, like we're just kind of getting rid of, this whole, like this capitulation just doesn't, I don't know. Something's off with it. And I am fucking determined to find out what it is, but something is off right now with this. I know people are going to say to me, well, it's the bear market. It's just not how bear markets start. Bear markets don't start when every single person on crypto Twitter is telling us it's the bear market. It doesn't start. Look, again, don't take my word for this, by the way. I'm just giving you my thoughts and opinions, but I still just don't think it feels right. That's just my view. And again, I could be wrong. You've got to be the master of your own, destiny. You've got to do the right thing by your portfolio and your portfolio alone. But something don't feel right to me. That's just my personal opinion. I was here in 2021 and I was here in 2017. And let me tell you, both times, it was never like, here comes the bear market, here's this. Now, again, if you add in the repo debt stuff, you add in the bank liquidity crisis, you add in the fact that there is a drying up of liquidity that's then not going to pump the market, then you kind of do get to a place where you're like, maybe, right? Maybe. But yeah, that's kind of where we get to. This cycle has been different. It's over. Recession incoming, going to be the biggest bear ever. Do you think so, Jay? Yeah? Shane, thanks for the heart means, man. Appreciate it. Levi's produces XRP estimate to 8K. No! This is, I'm just looking at Wintermute now, the liquidity provider for most of the top cryptocurrency exchanges. In literally the last 5 minutes, some big old numbers here. Look at that. Wintermute deposits to hot wallet, 146 Bitcoin, $14 million. So there's shit moving around right now. But yeah, look at this. This is just painful to watch right now. So funny, in September, every person said buy crypto October. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It is bearish right now. I'm not scared. Bring the red. Axe 2.21. Love it. Love it. I sold that him last Saturday. Glenn got out. Bonk about to gainer is, yeah, I know, it's wild, isn't it? Yeah, look at some of these. Bonk is about to gain a 0. You've got Pepe down at like the 5 range. Like, holy shit. Wild. You've even got Zcash, everybody's down 7%. Oh, ETH might actually drop below 3,000 at this rate. ETH might actually drop below 3,000. You're going to get another massive liquidation pump here. Like, we're going to absolutely... Bitcoin is about to shit the bed, everybody. Just letting you know. It is literally about to shit the bed, everybody. Hope you're all ready. I am loading the red and be patient. Remind me, why aren't we making money on the dump? That's the debate. Why are we shorting the markets to death? What are your thoughts on waters above full moon tomorrow? You tell me. Is Zebek up? No. Even Zebek's down 7%. The end is nice. Sammy Silver, no! Maybe it is. BTC's falling quicker than... I'm not saying that. Get out of here. Right. Feels like every time we saw a live stream, we see these like massive dumps in the market. At the minute, doesn't it? Anyway. Why is it falling so hard? the reality is this. Look at this. 1.17 million, 750,000, 500,000, 500,000. Like, you got big liquidations in right now. Like, everyone is like max fear right now. You know, Bybit have made 600 million today. Binance 378 million. Hyperliquid 500 million. Tyler, what's going on? Joe Bro says short 89,000. Really? But man, sorry about that. This 2 weeks have been hella painful. Yeah, it's been a pretty rough ride. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a pretty rough ride right now. But government shutdown, like, I mean, again, are we just gonna say that randomly everyone's just selling their Bitcoin right now? Everyone's decided to just max sell Ethereum. Everyone's decided at 20 to 10 on a Tuesday night, that's it. I'm done. I'm out of this market, and we're all gonna sell everything. It's wild. It's crazy. Now, I'm not saying that can't happen, by the way. It just feels unlikely. Too steep up, the rubber band shots back. Well, feel like we're getting a little bit. Kramer said the market's over, didn't he? So hopefully we get the Kramer bounce. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Maybe it's the community's fault, 114 viewing, but only 40. Yeah, I would absolutely say that's the truth. That's the truth as well, Craig. Not enough likes on the stream. Come on. 1010 was worse. Yeah, how low can we go? 74k BTC? I mean, I haven't heard 74k BTC talked about, but yeah, I mean, again, it's one of those, and I'm going to worry about the macro on the weekly. That's what I'm worried about, and we'll see. But I mean, where are we looking at next support line? 97,800, maybe a little bit lower. If you went a little bit a little bit more bearish, 92.8 could be on the cards. But you look at that on a daily, 7% dump in BTC today just doesn't make any sense to me. Can we look at Sol, please? I just looked at Solana. Down 11%. Bitcoin's down 7%. Think about that. Think about that. Solana at 11. I mean, look at ETH. ETH's fucking dying on its ass. Made more money on shorts. I mean, that's true as well. That's true. Unfortunately, we will carry on downwards until the government goes back. I think so as well. Bear market now, 2-bit. I think it's difficult to call it a bear market. The market is bearish right now. Definitely. You can't deny that. The market is bearish. Is it a bear market? Don't know yet. I think my confirmation will be, what does the weekly close look like? What does the weekly close look like? That's probably where I'm at right now. So we'll see. We'll see. But certainly not fun right now. Not fun right now. Let's keep up with BTC. Pushing back up again. Angel, what's going on? I'm just trying to see if there's any breaking news, but it doesn't look like it. Palantir CEO claims company is the first to be completely anti-woke. I don't know what that means, but I mean, there's nothing crazy going on. Nothing crazy that I can see. Whether Trump not too much winning. Being a welcome ideas, Bears will be in for a surprise with Jasmine. I mean, let's hope so. Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything. It's a fan. Logitech says, buy the dip. Short since 106, 500, 12x best short I've made in a long time. Nice, bro. Got to get those gains somewhere. Got to get those gains somewhere. The Dems are getting to vote soon. Well, I mean, they voted again tonight and rejected, didn't they? And rejected it. So yeah, I mean, again, we'll see. We'll see where the close is. We'll see if we get any sort of bounce right now. Like I said, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. But again, very different markets. Steve says, even 2B, no, it's been a while, long-term holder. It's a waiting game, I think. And again, by the way, it does depend what you're in. If you're in Ars Krakenu, then yeah, you're going to feel way more volatile. If you are 100% meme coins, it's going to be painful right now. Is Ethereum suddenly going to not exist in 5 years' time? Probably not. Is XRP not going to exist? Probably not. I mean, XRP might even go below $2. It's kind of wild. Maybe there's some crazy shit long from $2 or something. Morning winners, going back and see the start of the video. What's going on, Dandy baby? Welcome in, buddy. BTC's at 80k. No. It's just a bit of a weird. It's just a bit of a weird one. Bits player says it'll be fine. Let's hope so. Remember, the worst thing you can do is get emotional about this. My voice is killing me tonight. Hearing 80k. I mean, 80k is a long way down, isn't it? 80k takes us back to April 2025, which, you know, I guess maybe. Here on the Daily Candles. Almost died from those 80Ks. Exactly. Market manipulation. Decabella, what's going on? Ibrahim's in the building as well. What's going on, you guys? Don't forget, give us a quick thumbs up if you're coming in. It is the only good thing about today is a quick thumbs up on the stream. Would appreciate that. Likewise, if you haven't already tapped the screen on TikTok, please give us a little tap arena. I do appreciate it. Very possible to see XRP $2 and even 180. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's possible. Possible. What could be the bottom for Sol in the bear market? Did you ask that at the start of the stream? What could be the bottom? Well, you'd argue what were the lows from last time? I mean, where's the big support level there? 123. Don't forget, the reason Solana dropped to $8 this bear market just gone was because the network shut down twice and everyone said Solana was going to go to zero and quit. It's a very different ecosystem now. You've never lost until you've sold. Again, that's true. That's true. The one thing I said, keep your eye out on the repo debt and the repo lines. You know, if we see some more tonight, there's nothing wrong with just having some stable coin on the side. What was Bitcoin's last CME gap? 93k. Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. I'm so tired of playing Ripple's bills. We all know that feeling. I haven't seen much that's come out of Ripple swell, in fairness. So I don't know any kind of good news or anything like, you know, super crazy bullish right now, but just sort of trying to see what the sentiment looks like right now. Bitcoin did slow 100 for the first time since June. We know that. Yeah, no, I mean, not really anything else, to be honest, other than it's all down again and we're all going to freaking zero. I'm so tired. Yeah, the dump was a precursor. R3 says this cycle is done. If this is how the cycle ends, ouch. Yeah, again, that's why it doesn't make any sense. You think that the crypto is dead? No. I think right now, max fear is in the market. My view, by the way, and you know, again, that repo stuff that we've been talking about, let's see what happens. If you were, you know, if you want to take a bit of chips on the table, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. But again, bear markets just don't start like this. Like, sentiment's actually, I think, kind of okay in the market still. But right now, you're just seeing mass dumping of, you know, Bitcoin. I'll tell you what would be an interesting thing to look at. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, let's take a look at this. This is the list of the top 100 Bitcoin wallets. Let's see what they're doing. That could be an indication. Should I sell a hold because I'm down? Bad. My view would only be, it depends what you're holding. If you're holding Bitcoin, you're probably going to be okay. If you look at Bitcoin on a macro, by the way, so if you go to the monthly on Bitcoin, Bitcoin only ever does one thing, and that's go up. On the monthly, right? Not saying short-term volatility is not a thing, but again, when you look at this from a macro standpoint, yeah, all right, the curve is thinning out for sure. And the actual, you know, upside momentum is less, but at the same time, if you're in Bitcoin, you're fine. If you're in like loads of altcoins, then yeah, there's definitely a concern. So me predominantly, I'm in altcoins, top end altcoins, Ethereum, XRP, all the rest of it. But it is worth noting on that point, by the way, that yeah, that is where you want to be at. Again, my advice would always be in extreme volatile scenarios, you've got to be kind of. You got to try and be balanced and remove the emotion, because a lot of people will sell and then the markets will push back up. People will buy back in, the markets will dump again. So you got to be careful. This is nuts. Yeah, it's crazy, DG. Daniel, where are you at in terms of, do you think the market's over? Have you rolled over? Are you fully in stablecoin? Give me your thoughts. I can't unmute your comment for some reason. I don't know why. Crypto King, what's going on? I'm buying more. Jesse's bullish. Check the weekly SMA on ETH. In my opinion, bounce coming from the 50 and the 200. Weekly, yeah. So we have got, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's turn. So we've got 20, 50, and 200, yeah. So 20, 50, that on the weekly. Hold on a minute. Check weekly. Oh, simple moving average. Sorry, I don't have the simple moving average. I just have the exponential moving average. Buy more. Aaron's in. Aaron's buy more. There we go. Simple moving average. Hold on a minute. We need. What did you want me to look at? Sorry, 50 and the 200. There we go. So, why is it doing it in dots? Oh my god, why is it so freaking difficult? Right. Jesus Christ, that was just unnecessary. Right, okay, we got it. We got it. Right, 50-day, the big red line. Yeah, so literally bang on the weekly on the 50-day SMA. So, yeah, possible. Got a nice bag of XRP at 208. Bullish. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got it now. Let me turn the EMAs off. Let me turn those off. There we go. So, yeah, literally perfectly on the 50-day SMA right now. So, yeah, we'll see. 200 is just under as well. So, you are right. Definitely could see a bounce. The red line's not great, is it? But anyway, let's do that. Let me just turn these up. I'll leave that in there as well so we can see it. So yeah, SMA on the 50 right now. Very, very interesting. Very interesting right now. Is anyone in XCN? Man, what's XCN doing? I think I have that chart on here somewhere. Do I have the chart? Did I delete the chart? Maybe I deleted it. Maybe I deleted it. What's green, by the way? Oh, the DXY. See, the other thing to note as well, by the way, the S&P 500 coming down now over 1.14%. That's a pretty big push down for the S&P 500. You also have the NASDAQ down a little bit. Gold down 1.7. So this is a broader market rather than just specifically to the crypto market. This is a broader market, which I think is where the whole repo liquidation, the liquidity bit comes in. So that's why I'm saying that's such an important thing to keep your eyes out for. I think BTC will have a new all-time high in a few months. Let's hope so. Mike says the difference between XRP and my old lady is that XRP goes down to me because it takes my money. There you go. Sorry, it was the SMA 50 and the SMA 100. Yeah, we got them. We got them. We put them on there. So, yeah, we had that. The yellow being the 100, yeah. So, Torati says, chill. Bullrun's coming. Let's hope so, baby. I'm down for it. Oh, I am down for sure. But, yeah, this tells us there's definitely a broader market push down. Are we doomed? I mean, it certainly isn't a great day for the markets. Let's put it that way. It's not a great day to be a cryptocurrency, well, holder, investor maybe, because actually at 99,500, maybe that's an okay position. But, you know, again, we probably want to see this push back up a little bit, maybe back above 100,000 close. It'd be nice. It'd be nice. That's kind of where we're going to get to. So, right, let me close this and this. The other thing we said we were going to look at is ADP national employment data, which I think we'll get tomorrow, by the way. So do be mindful of this. This might be a shit show. Albeit, I think they maybe said they weren't going to bring it out. But again, in fact, let's take a quick look. I think it might be tomorrow, you know. So if we get bad jobs data, fuck me, it could be a disaster. Oh no, are we getting the jobs data? ADP employment change. So previous was negative 32. Consensus is 25K. So it might be a little bit better than we've seen. So maybe that could be a reason for a bounce if we get a slightly better ADP employment change. So we'll look at that tomorrow night live on the stream, by the way. If you want to tune in, don't forget, live every day from 9 p.m. UK, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk about this employment change. This could be a catalyst. Well, it's not going to be a big catalyst, but it certainly could be something. We'll talk about that tomorrow. So the 4-year cycle is still intact, minus the parabolic move. I guess so, yeah. I guess so. What is the next interest rate meet? Is it December? Yes. It's like December the 6th or something like that. Oh, do I have it here? Yeah, I do. December the 10th. Yeah, December the 10th. Okay, so yeah, we need to watch out for that. Right, we were going to look at this, by the way, and we didn't really get a chance. So let's have a look at these top Bitcoin wallets. So what's happening? So the number 4 wallet, which is a wallet, Binance Core Wallet, i.e. where Binance store most of their cryptocurrency in the last 7 days, has accumulated 8,357 Bitcoin. We also have a Random Whale wallet in the last 30 days, accumulated 3,200. Wallet Mr. 100 has accumulated 810 Bitcoin. In fact, let's just run through the top 20. Not one has been a decline in Bitcoin. Like, what? What? Wallet number 24 in the last 30 days accumulated 1,600 Bitcoin. Oh, there's one. There's a wallet that's yeeted out a little bit of Bitcoin. Cycle is measured from low to low, so what can make an all-time high? February, March, April is still being taxed. I mean, that's true. So wallet, this sold on the 31st of October, 2,900 Bitcoin, and then has been buying pretty much every day since. Didn't buy today, though. Oh, I did buy today, but it's wild. Bought $4 million worth of Bitcoin today at 4 and bought a little bit more. So big wallets, to a degree, are buying Bitcoin. Binance and BITUNIX not. 30-day now, 11,000. Holy shit, that wallet this one is dumped. I think these might be OG wallets, though. I mean, as well, isn't it? Oh, October, Moonvember, what a load of shit. I mean, that's true. Yeah, so sold 3,000 Bitcoin on the 21st of October. Okay, it hasn't done anything recently, so fine. So you have to get outside of the top 30 to see wallets that are actually selling Bitcoin. It's kind of interesting, isn't it? Kind of interesting. Anyway, let's keep an eye on the markets. Buy more, getting out is crazy, Paul. The bear market low is due October 2026. There we go. Cycle is measured. Oh, we said that, didn't we? Bring back BTC over 100K. Let's hope so. I think that's what we've got to hope for, a push above 100K. But, I mean, again, this is a daily fucking candle. It's wild. It's as bad as this candle here. It's like the second worst candle we've seen for ages. Again, just doesn't make any sense to me. But when you got institutions that just can liquidate, billions of dollars, maybe this is the new norm. I don't know. Maybe it is. Kind of wild to think it is. But anyway, everyone's that being big bullish on crypto has been 100% wrong. Well, depends though. It only feels like that because we haven't sold at the all-time high. That's what it feels like. Let's just call a spade a spade. We wicked to 124. We doubled our previous all-time high. The fact why it feels shit right now is because people didn't take enough profits and everyone goes, fuck, everyone told me we were going back up, which might still happen, right? It might still happen. Again, where is the macro sentiment? Interest rates are going to come down. The US government's going to reopen. I mean, HRH, thank you for the heart means. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. We need to take a look at the TGA account. Okay. So again, if you saw my video, you'll know what that is. Let's do a quiz. Who knows what the TGA account is? Because they watched my video earlier on. To be the last time we dumped big, how many wish they bought more? Yeah, 100%, Tim. Didn't we just hit like a weekly FVG? I don't know, did we? I mean, is there like an indicator for fair value gap? Not really. Not really. Fair value gap was a little bit higher up, in fairness, around 107 here on the weekly. I guess if we go to the daily, you might get a little bit more. Weekly Monday, May 25th. Caroline's wallet. Oh no, not Caroline's wallet. Right, we were going to look at the TGA for the US. Did anyone to be the last? So that didn't we just hit the Caroline's wallet? No one knows what it is. No, come on, you massive set of choppers! I can't believe you don't know what it is. Can't believe it. So it is this that I'm bringing up right now. Right, so the TGA is the Treasury's general account, okay? Basically, if you're a US citizen, this is where all of your money goes. Everything from bank accounts, taxes, you name it, it goes into this freaking account. Now, what we also want to see is how much money is now currently stored in this particular account. Yesterday was $680 billion, right? $680 billion, which is a pretty fucking big number. Now, let's see where we are today. Edit graph. We want it into format bars because it's easier to read. So this is the FDV, which currently sits at, can we not get it? Oh, maybe it doesn't update daily. That's kind of annoying. That is kind of annoying. So yesterday was like 800 billion. So again, we can sort of see where it is right now. Bitcoin's back above 100,000. Let's go. Shh. Sorry. Bitcoin's quietly above 100,000. Oh my God, the 1 minute bounce. Bosh. Let's go, baby. Let's stick it on the 5 minute and see what happens. All right, let's keep it on the 5 minutes. It's going to be more fun. But yeah, so that's another thing, because obviously all that money that the government shut down is liquidity waiting to pour into markets, which is why the government shutdown is such a big thing to get reopened, because that will push the markets higher. If we don't get the government reopened, it is going to be painful. If we do, then that will be where the liquidity goes in. Let me just see if I can get that. Man, oh, here we go. I've got it. Here we go, baby. I've got it for you guys. I mean, come on, broskies. TGA, it's nearly a freaking $1 trillion. What the fuck, bro? What? So the higher this number goes, the worse the repo debt problem comes. So this is the money that's going into the bank that should be going into everyday American people. This is the liquidity that we want. It's a freaking $1 trillion, bro. Now, just so we're clear, I'm not saying $1 trillion are going to go into the crypto market. However, even if fucking 10% of it went into the crypto market, people are going to be investing in crypto right now. It's $1 trillion fucking dollars, bro. $1 trillion. What? Holy crap. Man, that's wild. That's like 200 billion a day. Shit, the bed. That can't be that much. Surely, Christ. Surely it can't be that much. But that's wild, by the way. That is freaking wild. Oh, maybe I can actually get it. Hold on a minute. Hold on. WDTGAL. 1 second. WDT. Jail. Oh, bro, what's this? Let's go. Oh, we got it. We freaking got it. Nice. Ah, slick Rick, mother truckers. Right, let's leave this. Do we want this at the top already, don't we? So we can see what's going on with it. Let's get you at the top. Here we go. Perfect. Right. We can keep an eye on it. It's at $983 freaking billion. What? 983 freaking $billion. Holy shit balls. Right. Okay, let's keep an eye on that. That's another one to keep an eye on. Repo debt and the liabilities and capital liabilities. So again, what they have. I mean, imagine like that number. Holy crap. Like, look at BTC on the bounce, baby. Let's go. Come on. You go pump it up. Let's go. Pump. Look at this TikTok. Bitcoin is going parabolic. Let's go. So what we're looking at, so the WDTGL is basically the bank account for the United States. So while the banks shut down, anyone that works for the government, 670,000 people, isn't being paid. That's the account it comes out. So at the minute, all it's doing is just accumulating. It's just accumulating more and more money. That is banking liquidity. So that liquidity should be in the banks, which means it should be in people's pockets, which means they can go and buy fucking dog coins or Bitcoin. So yeah. We're going to zero, you massive choppers. Noah! No, Noah. Get the hell out of here. We should sell the investment fund and get XCL, grab a quick 3x and get a better position. Are you actually in a world where you think that's a good idea, Tim? By the way, I'm fucking down for it. Like, I don't even know I don't even know where it is. I mean, I can have a look. Is XCL really like going for it? Tau Harvin. When is that? Oh, right. I see what you mean. Yeah, it's down 28%. Buy the freaking dip. Dipperino. Dipperino. Don't make any rash decisions, folks. I mean, that's true. That is true. Bitcoin's now potentially nearly at 105. That's something. Are we missing something? Has something happened that we don't know about? Just in Binance here, Rich Tang denied claims that exchange influenced the use of Trump's backed stablecoin. USD won a $2 billion Abu Dhabi deal. Okay, no one cares about that. There's nothing going on there. Nothing going on there. The 90k CME gap, baby. I thought it was 93. Let me have a look at the portfolio. Not signed in. That's annoying. Do you want to? Do you want to see it, Tim? Oh shit, man! This portfolio is fucking cooked, bro. It's cooked. Shit, man, that's bad. Not even gonna lie, Tim. I'll flash it dead quick. Tim, I said I'm not selling. I'll zero out before I give up. I'm all or nothing kind of guy. I mean, don't do that, Craig. Don't do that. You know, but I bought ZK6 and Mina and we're pumping, also holding up in this in crash. Nice. I mean, a couple of coins are, by the way. Aster is holding up weirdly, 94%. 94 cents, sorry. Yeah, Bitcoin is kind of, I mean, it's not moving, but it's kind of doing something. 104,000. Again, a close above 100k, I think, could be pretty solid on today's markets. You know, 5.7. Let's hope we can get to maybe, I mean, what would a good close? 101,350, 101,500. That'd be a decent close, wouldn't it? 30 down last week. I was out back in a little in a year. I mean, maybe, yeah. Whoever's holding alt is cooked beyond belief. See you all next bull market. Rob says I'm all in or nothing as I don't have mega amounts. My portfolio always said first few years. Well, that's it. Always, I'll go easy. Look, again, if you can come out and you've made money, then that's fine, innit? Again, if you're in like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, like Solana, I still believe all of them are going to be fine. If you're in Ars Krakenu, random, you know, fucking frog coins, then you might be a bit of a challenge. But hey, that's the way the world works. ICP up when everything else is down. What's up with that? I don't know. I don't know why ICP is pumping. It is wild that it's pumping though. But my portfolio is looking no different than your 10k portfolio. Same as everybody else, but I believe this market will come back where they will finish. I mean, again, there is definitely some arguments for that, for sure. For sure. I mean, Chainlink might be one that I might be tempted by, but at the minute, I just don't think I'm going to buy anything. Look at fucking ICP's up 30%, although it is dumping now a little bit. So, yeah, the market is wild right now. BTC now 106,000. Let's go. Pump it up. Hit the fucking like button. Pump it up. Let's go. Tap the fucking screen. Staying too long is the downfall of most new investors, 100%. And not taking profits on the way up as well. Got to take those profits on the way up, baby. Bounce around 101. At worst, RSI will be overextended in 1 minute, just like other times. Although perhaps a higher high and all the times today. Yesterday it's failed. Let's hope so. Let's hope so. Things green up on the day. Yeah, well, I mean, Bitcoin's now up to 100,005. Well, 100,600. I wonder who's buying. Let's see. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can see who's buying, just out of curiosity. So you're saying Ars Krakenu is no good? I'm saying it's no good, bro. Yeah, I'm saying Ars Krakenu is not the way forward. Let's have a look and see who's buying. Oops, I didn't want to do that. There we go. These are anything over $1 million. Remember, red is generally selling and green is buying. So Wintermute market maker, Ethereum. I mean, look at that one. 4 million Ethereum. Holy shit. It's a decent amount. Wintermute selling to Binance USDC. Wintermute selling to Hyperunit. 3 million Ethereum. Wintermute selling to Binance. Another 7 million Ethereum. Holy shit balls. Binance selling stablecoin back to Wintermute. Interesting. Wintermute selling Ethereum to Binance. What else you got? Binance, crypto.com just bought 3.56 million Ethereum. Interesting. A lot of stable coins going back to Wintermute. And a lot of cryptocurrency going out to exchanges. That's in the last 10 minutes, by the way. Yeah, interesting. Kraken to Binance, 7,000 Solana. And if I ever get off sick and go back to work, then I'll start adding on DCA again. Let's go, baby. Yeah, Greg, when it's all or nothing, I sold off my BTC bag at 118. Ask Cracker Inu is showing some cracks. Wee, bro. You ready for the bear market? No, I'm not ready for the bear market. I don't want it to be a bear market yet. Bear markets are no fun, are they? No fun. Views drop on YouTube. If I want to actually get into a world where I want to do YouTube and TikTok full time and not have to do a 9-to-5 job, I don't need a bear market right now. I need the most euphoric, insane bull market the market's ever fucking seen. I need a $300,000 Bitcoin. That's what I need. That way I can stop doing my 9-to-5 job and come and do this and talk about cryptocurrency and trade cryptocurrency and do loads of bullish things with loads of people, rather than go and do a 9-to-5. We can't short crypto. It's sad. Why, Matty? What do you mean you can't short it? Because you can. Will you give your professional opinion when the bear market does come through? This is my first bull market. Beyond 95, I can't give a professional opinion. I will tell you, genuinely will tell you when I sell and when I move some coins into stablecoin. Make sure in the Discord, because I'm going to announce it in there first. But yeah, I'm not like weird about this shit. I'll be like, okay. And I talked about this yesterday and said, you have to watch this repo debt stuff. Like, my view is, and I've been really clear, I have stablecoin. It's still in stablecoin. I'm not buying anything right now. I'm going to wait and see what happens. I need to see what happens in the markets. When you've got the market doing this, look at this. Bitcoin might break 101,000. Like, I mean, it's wild. Bear markets are where real money is made. No. Bull markets where the money is made. Bear markets are easy. Buy everything, right? Bull markets are the hard thing, because when do you sell? FOMO, missing out, all that kind of stuff. How long will BTC go? How long will go BTC? I think BTC is definitely going to be volatile while the government is shut down. Partly due to that repo debt. Partly due to the fact that we just looked. There's a $1 trillion that's not signed the banking system. Think about that. $1 trillion. Bitcoin trying to push 101 right now. Too many to stay on. Be like those weird sleepy streams where it's like Bitcoin's at 165. Although I reckon I could do like a little I reckon I could do like a little podcast kind of thing. I reckon I could vibe a podcast. What do you think? Oh yeah, just podcasting. I need a new microphone stand. I know that for a fact. What about Solana? Huge losses here for me. I mean, I'm assuming you bought the top then. Here's the thing. Are you staking Solana? Because that could be benefit. 7.25% APY if you're staking Solana. Good news. And again, you only lose, really, you lose when you sell. I'm not saying you shouldn't sell. I'm not saying that you can't cut losses, and maybe that's not a bad thing sometimes. But you know, Solana's a top 10 cryptocurrency. There's look at Solana as an example. I'm trying to give you a little bit of hope here, mate. By the way, I have Solana. I bought it at a very different price, but I am at the moment not selling it. Think about this, right? Let me give you some stats on Solana. Currently has a stablecoin market cap of $14 billion and is expanding. You've got massive chain revenue. You've got some of the biggest stablecoin movement to Solana that we've seen. You've got ETFs that are now accumulating more Solana we've ever seen. There is kind of some good news with it. Right now, though, the markets are totally collapsing. But we're about to break 101,000 on BTC. That already feels a little bit better. I need to go and have some shots and not look at crypto. Snoops, thanks for the 5. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you so much, buddy. Legend on that 5. Hold, don't sell, you'll lose big time if you're. Well, that's true. Jay, what's the reason? So I think the reason definitely is down to a number of different things. Difficult to just say the honest answer. The reality is that you've got the government shutdown, which means people are being paid, which means banks haven't got liquidity, which means there is a squeeze on liquidity, right? Squeeze on liquidity. I think as long as the government... Basically, I said this in my Bitcoin update video, by the way. I put a video out at 11:30 UK time every morning on the channel, and then I also do a video in the afternoon as well, so definitely check that out for sure. Link in my bio. But you've got a couple of things going on. Markets don't like uncertainty. Government shutdowns are uncertainty. I'll tell you what, let's take a look at something real quick, and then I'm out of here. Government shutdowns. 9 states. Where are we at? Oh, man, it got rejected. It got rejected at 101, you massive choppers. Right. So, Here we go. So, list of federal shutdowns. Perfect. Perfect. So 2018 to 2019 doesn't give you the exact date, but let's look at it on the charts on, let's say, the weekly. So 2018 to 2019. So let's take a look. 2000 and what am I on here? So 2018 to 2019. Okay. So we did see, while the government shutdown was pretty bad, we pumped what, April 1st, 2019. So from December the 22nd, 2018 until January the 25th, 2019. Oh, what? What, bro? What? So, tinfoil hats on, everybody. Tinfoil hats on. Right. So the government shutdown in 2018, 2019, okay, just for reference, went from December 22nd, 2018 to January 25th, 2019. December 22nd is there. So it went from here to there. So this was a government shutdown here, look, like that. So Dumperino, government reopened, Pumperino, look at that. Now, obviously, one swallow doesn't make a summer. We closed in 2013. So we closed from October 1st, 2013 to October 17th. I don't know. Do we go back to 2013? Anybody? Anyone know? We do go back to 2013. Right. 2000. So October 1st to October 17th in 2013. Let's take a look. Just out of curiosity. October. September. Oh boy. Oh boy. There we go. The 2013 government shutdown was there. What happened when the government reopened? Just saying. Just saying. There we go. That's definitely going to be a topic for tomorrow night's stream. By the way, just FYI, that became the high of 2013's bull market top. FYI. All right. There you go. A little bit of something to think about over the next 24 hours before I'm back live again, as always, here on the channel, 4 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. in the UK. That's what time we go live every single day. Set your alarm clocks. Also, do make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you have turned that notification bell on to all. Remember, YouTube will notify you of only 3 things over the course of a day. So make sure this is one of them. Also, make sure you've hit the like button on TikTok. We massively appreciate it. And don't forget, if you want to join the Discord and get access to our premium service, charts, new token launches, VC opportunities, and technical analysis, grab a channel membership, head down there, click the join button, or become a subscriber on TikTok. You get access to all of that. And don't forget, we have a bot in there as well that can give you up-to-date analysis on any coin you decide to take a look at. Highly recommend it. It's $8 a month. It's a steal at that price. So don't forget, I'm going to be back tomorrow night as always, bringing you the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency. As always, until then, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Remember, you only lose when you sell. Thanks so much, everybody. Catch you tomorrow.